go ahead and follow along with this video. You can pause it as you need as well. And it will just go through the practice quiz. That way you are ready for your quiz tomorrow. Okay, it says, which of the following tables show a rate greater than 1 gallon per 1 minute? So we are trying to get the minutes to our unit rate of 1, and the gallons have to be more than a minute. Okay, so our gallon has to be more than a minute. Now, the crazy thing about this table is there's so many numbers, but do not freak out too much. They are all proportional, so that means that you can actually just pick one pair here, okay, and we can set that equal, get that to a unit rate of 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a fifth of the gallons, make sure you're labeling, and then 5/10 of the minutes. We want to see if it's greater than a gallon per 1 minute. When it says per something, that means that's what's going to 1, okay? 1 minute. Now, how are we going to get from, see if I can get a smaller pen. How are we going to get from 5/10 to 1? We are going to divide by itself, right? So divide by 10 over 5, okay? What you do to the top, you're always going to do to the bottom, or what you do to the bottom, you will do to the top. Okay, so now we have 1/5 divided by 5/10. In order to divide fractions, you need to keep, change, and flip. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 10 is 50. Okay, so you can keep that as 5 over 50, or you could reduce it to 5 divided by 5 is 1. 50 divided by 5 is 10. You could reduce it to 1/10. Well, now we have to think here, okay, is that more than a whole? Because which one shows something that is greater than 1 gallon per minute, okay? That is not going to happen. You actually do not have to check the whole thing. You just know that is not going to work. So what we're going to do next is I'm actually going to try C next, and I'm going to erase all my work because I need that space. And we're going to do the same thing, okay? So, again, just pick any random one. I'm going to pick 2/5, okay? And this is gallons per 2/10 minutes, okay? And we want to see how much per 1 minute. Well, how are we getting from 2/10 to 1? We are dividing by 2/10. What you do to the bottom, you will also do to the top. Okay, so we have 2/5 divided by 2/10. Make sure you put it in that order, okay? Because it's 2/5 divided by 2/10, it has to be in that order. And then when we divide fractions, we keep, we change, and we flip. 2 times 10 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, 20, the fraction bar means division. 20 divided by 10 is equal to 2. That means there's 2 gallons per minute. 2, the gallons is greater than the minute of 1. That means C is your answer. Again, you don't have to check all. If I was taking this quiz, I would probably check B and D as well, just to make sure those are also left. But for today's purposes, we're just going to go with C. Okay, on to the next one. Decide if each of the statements about the unit rate is true or false, and choose true or false for each statement. Okay, so this one's a little bit less specific, and there is going to be this on the quiz, so just pay really close attention here. You can actually just take the first number and divide it by the second number. When they put it in a ratio like that, they're assuming that we're getting the second number to 1. Okay, so like 5 to 1/7, they're assuming that's like 5 over 1/7, and we need to get it to 1, okay? That's what they're assuming. So we just need to take, divide by 1/7, divide by 1/7, 5 goes over 1, okay? Because if it doesn't have a denominator, you can assume it's over 1, or 5 divided by 1 equals 5. Divided by 1/7. Then you're going to keep, you're going to change, and you're going to flip. 5 times 7 is equal to 35 over 1. 35 divided by 1 is 35. Okay, so that makes that equal to 35, and that's what they're asking for. Yes, that is true. For the rest of these, you don't have to set this up. For this specific problem, if it's saying the first number to the second number, we can actually just divide the first divided by the second. Only for this question, because they are saying, what is the ratio to this? 4/7 to 8/9. They're assuming that the second number is what you need to get to 1, so we can actually take the first number divided by the second number. So on part B, we're doing 4/7 and we're dividing by 8/9. You're going to keep, you're going to change, and you're going to flip. Now you multiply, apply across. 4 times 9 is 36. 7 times 8 is 56. Okay. Is that the same as 9/14? Well, we have to actually do a little bit of reducing. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to reduce. What do they both divide by? Well, you can divide by 2 and you can divide by 2, so go ahead and try that. Okay, so 36 divided by 2 is equal to 18, and 56 divided by 2 is equal to 28. Okay, they're even again, so you can divide by 2, and you're going to get 9/14. That is, let me rewrite that. 9/14. That is true. So that is what we're going to mark true for. Okay. Next one. C. Again, only on this we can take the first part, 2/5, and divide it by 1/3 because we're assuming that the second number is going to 1. Okay? So we're going to keep, we're going to change, we're going to flip. 2 times 3 is 6 over 1 times 5 is 5, okay? Is that the same as 2/15? It definitely is not. They probably forgot to flip, so that is false. Okay, part D is the ratio of 3 1/4 to 1 1/2, so we're dividing. Before you do anything, make them in proper fractions. 3 times 4 is 12. So times sign there, and then plus 1. 12 plus 1 would be 13/4 divided by 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 would be 3/2. Okay, then we are going to keep, we are going to change, we are going to flip. 13 times 2 is 26, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, those can both be divided by 2, so we can say that's the same as 13. Let me rewrite that. Just reducing this, divided by 2 is equal to 13/6. Okay, we maybe still can't tell. We could do long division. The top dog gets to go in the house. How many times will 6 go into 13? 2. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract, you get 1. Is that the same as 2 1/6? No, that's 2 1/3, so it's close, but not quite the same. So that is also going to be false. Okay, number 3. The marching band walks 1/15 mile in 1.5 minutes. At this rate, how many minutes will it take them to complete 1 mile? So, first of all, let's go ahead and make 1.5 the same as 1.5. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. So 1/15 mile. And these both are MI, so be careful how we label it. In 1.5 minutes. And we need to see, at this rate, how much will it take them to complete 1 mile. We want this per 1 mile. So, what do you do from 1/15 to get to 1? Divide by 1/15. What you do to one part, you do to the other. Okay? So, we have, what we need to figure out is 1.5 divided by 1/15. Well, 1.5 is the same as 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 would be 3/2 divided by 1/15. Okay, then we need to keep, change, and flip. 3 times 15 is equal to 45, and 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So you could keep it as 45 over 2, or we could divide. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down your 5. 2 goes into 5. Or you could make that a remainder, but for now, 2 goes into 5. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, you get 1, so that's 22.5. Okay, so your answer is going to be 22.5 minutes. You also could have converted this to decimals, and that totally is okay as well, and then you could have gotten 22.5. Number 4. Okay, so we're making some punch. He uses a 1/3 cup of pineapple juice for every 3/4 cup of orange juice. How many cups of pineapple juice does he need if he uses 3 cups of orange juice? So again, a kind of a tricky one here. 1/3 of the pineapple juice for 3/4 of the orange. We have to see how much it's going to take to get to 3 of the orange. Now, we probably don't know that in our head. Might be kind of a lot. So what if we get this to 1 of the orange? How are we getting from 3/4 to 1? Well, we're going to divide by itself. Remember, anything divided by itself is 1. 100 divided by 100 is 1. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 3/4 divided by 3/4 is 1. Then, what you do to the bottom, you will do to the top. So now we're doing 1/3 divided by 3/4. We're going to keep, change, and flip. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. So this is 4/9 of the pineapple for 1 orange. Now, let's use that same concept, and we're going to try to get from 1 to 3. We're going to multiply by 3. What you want to do to one part, you need to do to the other. Okay, so 4/9 times 3 over 1, because 3 can go over 1, is 12 over 9. Okay, so what we could do is divide that. Top dog gets the house. 9 goes on the outside. How many times will 9 go into 12? 1. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract, you get 3. So that's 1 3/9. So how much is it? 1 3/9, or 1 1/3 cups of the pineapple juice. Okay. Last one. Janelle is viewing an image of a sculpture. She enlarges it to the scale of 0.2 to 1/8. How many centimeters is in the image are used to show 1 foot of the sculpture? So, first of all, 0.2, that's 0 2/10. That's equal to 2/10. Okay? So, we're going to do every time, just start putting it into a proportion. 2/10 centimeters to 1/8 foot. Okay? We want to see how much is in 1 foot. Okay? How are we getting from 1/8 to 1? Well, we're dividing by 1/8. What you do to one part, you do to the other. You could also multiply by 8, right? Because that would also get 1. So I'm going to do 2/10 divided by 1/8. You're going to keep, you're going to change, and you're going to flip. 2 times 8 is 16. 10 times 1 is 10. Okay? So 16 divided by 10, you could do 16, move your decimal 1 time. That would be 1.6. Sorry, let me start that over. 16. So 16 divided by 10 is equal to 1.6. C. Okay? No, that was kind of hard to see on that one, but if you have any questions on any of this, please let me know.